Now now I'm hitting the motherfucking record button. We are live
All right.
in the happy place. Let me hit the Fuzzarino.
Yo.
Checking all the camera angles. Yeah.
I see the lines are moving.
We got audio. Welcome. Happy Monday, folks. Gene and Max here. We just got done jamming it out. It was a super good time jamming it out. You're making a mess. I got the camera on the wrong person again.
There's no mess.
There's no mess.
What are you seeing?
It's been raining all day like a mother.
Yes. It's
Grr.
been raining all 2 weeks.
Yep.
Every day.
It has. I think it has something to do with El Nino.
El Nino.
El Nino, right?
Who's that?
He's a fine gentleman who changes all the weather patterns just when you think the shit's falling apart, the world is going to end because...
So is the drought over now?
I don't think so. Actually, I don't think it is. Turns out.
I don't think so.
I do... is this a good angle? That works. You can't see him. Oh, sorry. I'm hiding the screen. Yeah, no, I think the drought is really still pretty
Well, the problem is
dry
it
down
gets super saturated, right?
SoCal.
And all the water just runs off right
It just runs off in the ocean. I think,
We're better off. The reservoirs are full.
the reservoirs are full. I heard Northern California is good.
Yeah.
Northern California is doing good. Southern California still has a problem.
Yeah.
But,
It's not their worst
I don't
problem.
live there. Not my problem.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
So what's up?
I used to hear this. I heard this tweet. I got this tweet. Some guy had tweeted something about, and he was proving a point.
To you?
Yeah,
Specifically?
it was on. It was something about somebody didn't want to. They didn't want their tax dollars going to. What was it? It was like Planned Parenthood or something like that, right? Oh, it was some kind of it was some kind of sex education or something.
Sure.
And then some guy tweeted back. He's like, I don't want my tax dollars going to the elementary schools because I don't go to the elementary schools. Kind of proving this little point about
Let's just have a bunch of dumb kids.
I don't fund it. I mean, I have nothing to do with it,
Yeah.
so why should I fund it? But it's like you got to think about the big picture.
Sure.
The big picture is important. Anyway, that's
The hell with the big picture. I only think about me.
where I was going with it.
Not really.
Yeah. So here we are. We have a new president, President Trump. I know we're not going to talk politics, but as
That's the news.
as
That's
a
the
moment
big
of time and history, you and I are having this conversation. We just got a brand new president. His name is Donald Trump.
Yeah, today's the
And
first working day.
Today's
for
the
him in
first
office.
working day, and he's already pulled the Trans-Pacific Partnership Program. I have no idea. I heard it was bad news, so I guess that's a good thing. That's cool. We'll see what happens, huh?
We will see. I'm waiting.
I'm excited. Kind of, just
It's fun just to watch for
It
me.
is.
Everybody's getting so
yeah.
excited about everything.
Well, if you follow Reddit, Reddit's like a kind of a huge left-leaning website. Like
Yeah.
the people that are on there are notoriously like kind of left-leaning, right? So they're more fans of Bernie Sanders than they are
Yeah.
Donald Trump. And so you get a lot of interesting headlines, that kind of come across. One of them that caught my attention, and I don't know how true this is, but somebody said that Donald Trump has assembled the worst cabinet in like American history.
Yeah.
And I could kind of see that, if you look at who's running things.
The thing is, I know we go back and forth with this every week, but the thing is, no matter who was president,
Yeah.
no matter what cabinet they put in, like say Hillary Clinton became president,
Right.
no matter what cabinet she put in, all the Republicans are going to say that is the worst
Yeah.
cabinet ever in history.
Oh,
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And both sides are going to do it.
I
That's
agree.
politics.
I agree. However, this is different. I think this is different. Only because you have a person who's not a career politician
Yeah.
now in the biggest position in the universe, technically. So that's the only difference, right?
Yeah.
Like had it been like Rick Perry had become president, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, this is George Bush number 2, whatever. I don't care. But this guy is what's interesting about this guy is completely.
Yeah, we'll have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
How he's going to handle.
Anyway, that's what's going on in the news here in the United States, 2017, January 23rd.
January 23rd.
Yeah.
Being here on a Monday is throwing me off.
Is it?
I'm so used to being here on Tuesday.
Yeah. It's Yeah, it's not so much a case of the Mondays. I had a case of the Mondays when I came home today.
Yeah.
It's kind of like tired. You had some shit going on with, being on hold with the doctor and everything.
Doctor's appointments, physical therapy. Hey, I'm walking around now.
Work getting all scheduled and, changed around stuff.
But we are here.
We are. I got a new job coming up.
Really?
A new job on top of the job I already have.
So
this is the beauty about the world today.
Are you staying with your job at the postgraduate school?
Yeah. What's great about the world today is that there's some jobs out there that are just completely flexible, right? Things that don't require like 100% of your time all the time, right? And they pay decent. And one of them is being an affiliate manager. I can handle that job.
And you can do that from home, right?
I can do that from home. I can do that from my cell phone, pretty much 99% of the time, because it's pretty much just babysitting. It's communicating is all it is.
But it takes a while to get yourself set up into that situation, right? It's not like somebody could just jump in and be like, I'm going to be an affiliate manager.
I think all you have to do is just get into the industry.
Yeah.
You don't have to be good at being an affiliate. Most people who are doing the job as an affiliate manager probably haven't ran like a lot of traffic, to offers, to their websites and stuff. And what I mean by that is, how people make money on the internet is they usually have a website or something, and they're paying people like Google and Yahoo and Facebook. To
pay-per-click
to traffic. Send traffic to their websites, and then the performance-based guys, kind of like who I am, we do the best we can to optimize our websites and stuff.
So define performance-based.
So we basically what we're doing is we're buying this traffic, right? And the traffic is people searching on the internet, right? So they go to Google and you go pest control. Like I need somebody to come and say like spray my house or termites. Termites is a great example, especially around here, right? A lot of times they'll jump on the internet and they'll figure out, who do I call? They're doing research. They're kind of in that awareness phase. The wife has been screaming at them like, you need to do something about these termites. So you jump on
Google it.
Yeah. So you're either like investigating like what companies, or maybe you're not sure if you even need them. Maybe you can go to Home Depot and buy some spray and take care of the problem yourself. You're not at that point yet where you're like fully committed to like get the bed bug guy or the termite guy out, right? So my job is to go, okay, what's the mindset of this person that's doing the Googling right now? And how can I match their mindset or the problems that they're having? How can I match my website to provide the solution they're looking for there? And then reach them at a certain point in that sales cycle where I can continue to market to them and then eventually get them to, call my phone number. So then the working guy comes out and I get $20 or something, right? So you can see that like there's kind of a sales funnel there. And depending on where they're at inside that sales funnel is, you're going to market to them differently. There's going to be some people who are like, I've already been through that entire phase. I just need to find a phone number and talk to somebody right now. There's that too, but that's like pretty expensive. But let's just say like the Orkin guy pays me $20, right? Every time I can get somebody on the phone with him for like 2 minutes or more, right? Because if they can stay on the line for 2 minutes or more, chances are that's a legitimate customer, right?
So you're kind of like a middleman.
I am.
Finding a service.
My goal is to drive leads to businesses.
And how do they find you? How does a business find you?
Well, most of the time I don't work with businesses directly. I work with affiliate networks. So, because it's just a little bit easier. I can just go to the network and go, what's available? And then I can go do my research and go, oh yeah, I could run that. I could do that.
Yeah.
Or it's worth a test at least, because most of the time your campaigns are just going to fail. You're not going to get it to work.
Or your way to success.
Yeah. So the performance-based aspect of it is you're sending like this huge mess of traffic to your website, to a place. Like let's just say termites, to a website or web page is talking about termites, and at the bottom there's a phone number to call, right? And you're not really too sure like who's doing all the phone calling, right? So we have to use tools like AdWords has a tool that allows you to kind of look at the traffic, and it gets very granular too with like the audience, whether they're male or female, what age they are, where they're at in the country, what times are they calling, what days of the week are they calling. right? So you buy all this data, all this traffic, and you're losing money. But at some point, a pattern is going to emerge. You're going to go, oh wow, it looks like people in like the Northeast, during the lunch hour throughout the week are calling the most.
So how do they get these phone records? Are phone records just like public?
So we use I use like a third party service.
Yeah. Right.
Well, so I use a third party service to kind of account for all of the phone calls and stuff. And there's platforms on board, the networks and stuff. Okay. So everything's kind of tracked. I mean, it's extremely like I said, granular. You know, there's things going on all through the whole thing.
Very complex.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what I'm up to right now. The affiliate manager side is so I'm considered an affiliate, right? So I go to somebody and I go, hey, I'm interested in running that home alarm offer.
Yeah.
And then he would approve that for me. Okay. So like on his end, he's like setting things up so that I can run traffic to that phone number, and there's going to be somebody there to pick it up. And, if the phone call goes over a couple of minutes, that I get paid out, that kind of thing, right? That's the affiliate management side.
So it's still like his phone number and his business, and you're just trying to figure out how to drive people to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you get the credit for the call if they just find the number through a link? How does that work?
So most of the time when you're on Google, there's ads there, right? So most of the time when people search for something, like termites Monterey, right? Or like I have a termite problem, I need a termite inspector, termite inspection Monterey or something like that. I could bid on that keyword phrase. So what happens is if I win that auction between my competitors, because we're all bidding on that keyword phrase, right? And somebody sees the advertisement at the top of the search results when they do that search in Google and they click on it, then basically they clicked on my ad, and my ad is configured with a phone number that reroutes to the Orkin guy, for example, right? So technically they could go to the yellow pages and find the number, but nobody ever does that.
Everybody's just looking up on their phone.
Yeah.
The number pops up, you hit call.
Yeah, that's it. So that's all it is. It's like most advertisements too. It's like people go to the phone book because that company paid to have their ad in that phone book,
Which I don't know who uses that anymore.
Yeah, it's amazing. You look at how many people are in the phone book still. They can justify it.
I'm surprised anybody even still has a landline.
I got rid of mine like 3 years ago. When did you get rid of yours? You've had yours
6 years ago. I haven't had one, I don't think, since I've been up here.
When I got rid of Comcast, because it's the world's worst company.
Oh, all those cable companies.
AT&T, world's worst company. Yeah, when I started dropping those guys, I started losing all that shit. Crooks. They're such crooks, man.
They are crooks.
I know.
So you say you got a new job. Is this something that you're developing yourself? And
no.
This is my job, or are you actually getting a paycheck? From
I'm getting a paycheck. Oh. It's going to be commission based too, in a lot of ways. So it's performance based, right? So this is great, right? Because in this industry, you show up to a network and they're hoping and praying that you already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, we don't want any amateurs. We don't want any like brand new, we don't want any brand new newbies.
A lot of jobs are like that.
Yeah. And so that's kind of, that's the chicken and egg problem in a lot of ways. And so really what an affiliate manager will do is like kind of their responsibility to go out and hustle up some affiliates to run offers under them. That's kind of how the performance is based, right? So it's like a lot of sales positions and stuff where I don't want. It's not like a pyramid scheme because that's really a scheme.
Yeah.
This is like these are like you're just gonna have subordinates. You're gonna have people running traffic and they get paid a commission.
And you could all do it remotely, right?
Yeah. That's what's great about the internet. So we're everywhere. But anyway, not a lot of affiliates know or affiliate managers know the affiliate side. So they can't teach you how to run traffic properly to their offers, right? Very few can. And so I'm thinking, well, how about I put together a course? I got all this camera equipment and microphones, and why don't I just put together a course that teaches kind of how I do it personally, and then as an incentive for people to sign up underneath me, I'll just give them the course.
Yeah.
So then they can run the offers that I give them, and plus they get to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. So nobody's really doing that.
Yeah.
And I feel it's going to make my life way easier too in the long run because I get to, basically teach without having to be there. and they get to know me more. They trust me better, you know. So it's just, it's overall it's way better because you're dealing with people all over the world, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it can get big fast too. It really could. So that's kind of the fun thing too. I like about it. But it is one of those jobs where you can be flexible. You could be anywhere. I could be on the beach with a laptop and still get my job done.
That's the dream.
That's the dream, man.
Living the dream.
Work from home, or wherever.
Wherever.
Yeah, work wherever.
Wherever.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Building out, you know, it's going to become a marketing podcast. I swear to God. But I'm building out I'm building out all these websites now. I got some local clients here in the area for outpatient surgery.
So are you building the websites for these businesses?
Yeah, I need to actually start outsourcing it. It's becoming too much.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to sit there and do all of the actual work. You know, it's like I got to get some people to do it for me now.
Do you use some like Squarespace or something like that?
Oh no. We use WordPress for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's on WordPress. WP Engine is what I use for server, for hosting. They're amazing. In fact, they gave me, like, I was at a conference, a trade show last week, and they gave me like a whole bunch of free stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, super cool company.
Yeah, I use WordPress when we're cruising around.
Yeah.
Then we got something we kind of played with.
Wix or something, or Square. Or
Squarespace.
Squarespace.
I didn't get into it as much as I did WordPress.
Yeah, they're very rudimentary. Yeah. Like if you want to get into like complex marketing stuff, you know, sales funnels and so forth, you know, I think you need more. Because I played with a little bit. I played with Square a little bit, and it's really good for, like, you know, you need that fundamental website. I mean, you don't care about.
It seems like it has a nice look to it.
Yeah.
But it's just mainly like throw some images up here. Here's
basic.
A fancy way to look, and here's some menus. You can write a blog.
Yeah, it's kind of a hands-free way of approaching the internet.
Yeah.
You know, because it used to be a huge hurdle, even with WordPress. It was like you got to install all the plugins, and you're like, what plugins do I need to install? It's another skill. You know, it's like, okay, you know, I could turn this into a whole business right here, just knowing this shit right here after I've gone through it all. Yeah. People are doing it with Squarespace and Wix and all of those too. They're becoming like gurus of those particular platforms and charging like $500 to $1,000 a website to just customize a website for somebody. In Wix, you know, it's pretty much all drag and drop, and just, you know, you just need somebody there firing on all cylinders that have seen it. It's like writing music, right? It's hard at first, but then once you kind of get into the flow and your brain is kind of unblocked all the stuff that was
that way.
Yeah, it's like the music starts to flow, and it's the same with websites. Like
the websites flow like music.
Well, you think you know what you want, but then you open up the editor and you look at it, and all of a sudden it's like you get writer's block.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you just kind of shut down. Like, where do I start? This is too much. It's overwhelming. I give up.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been there.
Yeah. And this is like your website, and you're like, I don't even know where. Okay, $500. I'll pay somebody to do this. Forget it. I'll just tell them what I want. Yeah. You know. So it's the thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But that is awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm up to. Is just, man, there's just so much going on. Fuck. I heard Bill Burr's got a new. You know Bill Burr? You like Bill Burr?
Right?
Yeah. He's got a new special coming out on Netflix. I'm super excited. It's been like 2 years.
I haven't watched much of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus,
I'll
guy's like
check him out.
Fucking brilliant. Like Tom Segura. I'm starting to realize that everybody that's friends with Joe Rogan are getting specials on Netflix too. Like not counting the usual suspects, the Tom Seguras and the Bill Burrs, but
all his comedian buddies.
Neil Brennan, I think that's his name, Neil Brennan. Really good, smart guy. Wrote for the Chappelle Show. It was like him and Dave Chappelle wrote the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
And he just had like a really interesting comedy special. And you should catch him on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
Like, it's a really good one. He suffered from depression, right? Like, in a bad way. I guess he had like a super abusive father.
Now, who is this?
This is Neil Brennan. Okay. So he wrote the Chappelle Show with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And he's done a whole bunch of stuff. Like he's got some awards and stuff. Like he's been around. And so he did this special where it's like 3 microphones up on stage. And it's really good. So it was like one microphone was like one-liners. Another microphone were basically, it's just like some jokes, right? Some storytelling. And then the middle one was kind of like a confessional thing.
So he would just kind of move around and do different things?
Yeah. So he had like little 15-minute sets that he just kind of ran through until the hour was up, because it's an hour special. And it was really good. So it's like, not only did you get like a bunch of different variety in terms of like the jokes he was telling, you get to learn a little bit about him too, right? And he had a really interesting story, because he was like, I watched him on Joe Rogan at first, and he had like a severe depression, and he was going and getting all these like crazy transcranial MRI type treatments, because traditional antidepressants, he decided not to do them anymore. So he was doing all kinds of crazy shit. He was taking kratom. You ever heard of kratom?
I don't know.
Well, the surprise, was it the DEA decided to put it on the Schedule 1 drug list?
Oh, right up there with
CBD. Yeah, right. And it turns out this like kratom is like a super good treatment for depression, right?
People don't go kill themselves after they take it.
No. It's kind of like I guess it's kind of like an acid trip, but really intense.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not. I don't think it may be used recreationally. I'm not sure, but it's used like it's like an inpatient medical procedure.
Is it like a plant? Is it plant based?
Yeah, I think it's a plant. But anyway, so you go through like I want to say like 15 treatments or 6. No, he did 6. 6 of these like 45-minute, super intense acid experiences, acid trip things using kratom.
And whammo presto, depression's gone.
Boom! It's like, let's just change I think what it does is it introduces some sort of like homeostasis in the brain chemistry, so it finds balance. Like you're getting some misfiring between neurons for some reason, and they're like flooding your brain with like these crazy drugs, almost as like a reset button. You know, it just gets the chemicals kind of back in balance again. So anyway, yeah, I recommend you check out that special. It's pretty good. Man.
I heard David Chappelle might be doing a special for Netflix.
I think he's doing a couple. He got like $40 million.
Yeah, they're talking about how he like.
I know Chris Rock got $40 million for 2 specials.
Well, Dave Chappelle got all this crap for turning down $50 million, quitting Comedy Central.
And that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. The guy's still worth a lot. Has like a farm in Vermont or something.
He's so funny.
But now he's doing
comedy
that
still.
Same bank.
Yeah, he's still doing stand-up.
That guy's great.
I got to see Chris Rock at the Comedy Store in Hollywood.
Well, that wasn't too long ago, was it?
Yeah, it was just a big surprise. It was me and my friend Ray, we went to the Comedy Store to see Joe Rogan and a bunch of people, and Chris Rock was a private surprise guest, which was kind of neat. And that guy's worth a ton of money, man. And he'd just gone through a divorce.
Oh, well, he used to be worth it. He's worth half a ton now.
Yeah, he was talking about how how much money she took. She took some serious money from him. Yeah.
I wonder how much of these stories comedians have are actually true, and how much they just embellish to make it funny.
I'm
sure they're all based, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast today, actually, with Dr. Rhonda Patrick on there. Yeah. You ever heard of her? Yeah, you should. She's really, really smart. And especially if you're like to geek out on diet and nutrition, that's a whole level. That's like a molecular biology course, you know, and so it's really, really fun to listen to her talk. And she asked Joe Rogan that exact same question today, and his question was like, "Oh hell yeah, everybody embellishes. I mean, it's part of the comedian's job." To but yeah, a lot of them, a lot of the stories, of course, are true. But he's like, you have permission.
Based on a true story.
Yeah, you have permission to make shit up.
Yeah, I mean, they're comedian, right? Yeah. Nobody expects it to be all real.
Yeah.
Life can't be that funny all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? And if it was that would be a weird rule if it was a rule. Yeah. You know, like you can't make shit up.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's fake comedy.
You were not out there with Big Daddy Kane. Yeah. You were with your wife and 2 kids.
I got pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
What podcast is this? Is this number 13?
We're getting there. Yeah, 13.
13.
13. I hope these cameras are in focus.
You said you had some plans to...
Hey.
You said you had some plans to get somebody to add some meta tags and do all that
so here's
stuff.
The big problem I'm seeing right now with us. Nobody in this room right now wants to do any of the work on YouTube. All right. And so it gets put off until like the day before the podcast. Yeah. Right. So in one way that's not bad, because it just kind of like schedules it.
Yeah.
But when you miss, like I missed this week, that's not good at all.
Yeah.
So as an exercise, as a homework assignment for myself, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna outsource that work to somebody. I'm just gonna find somebody like a little virtual assistant on the internet somewhere and pay them like $10 or $15 to go listen to the podcast and fill out all the data, the description and the tags, and then
all the fun stuff.
yeah, and then also keep a running timeline of all the interesting tidbits, if there are any, anything that could seem like it was
Engaging
and useful.
Yeah.
And then that way we can cut up the videos later into segments. That way we don't. That way it's easier for people to watch.
Yeah.
Because I think right now it's.
We got to break in a little bit.
Yeah, it takes like an hour just to get started, doesn't it? It's so weird when the cameras get rolling. It's almost like your brain shifts into a different gear a little bit, and you just got to kind of unthaw, a little bit.
Well, we've been warming up with music the last few times. We're doing pretty good with the music.
I like that. Yeah, man, we're getting way better.
It was just like we're done. We have guitars. Let's chill out and play. Now we actually have some songs.
Yeah, we're gonna be we're gonna find us on SoundCloud, and we're gonna have a MySpace page.
MySpace.
And
is that still around?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Does anybody use it?
I have no idea. I bet it's really big in like the Ukraine or something, But
we love David Hasselhoff and MySpace.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with David Hasselhoff these days. I mean MySpace these days.
Oh. We played laser tag with David Hasselhoff.
I told that story like 3 days ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Circus Hotel, probably like 1995 or something.
That's right. We got knocked over. I got knocked over by David Hasselhoff.
Oh, I don't remember
He
that.
ran right into me.
I shot him with the laser, so.
It could be that I'm making it up now that it's been so long that my memory's just starting to like make shit up.
I remember him being nice.
He was a nice guy.
I remember kids were like, Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. Oh, Knight Rider.
That was probably us.
That was probably us. We were like 15 or 16.
Yeah, we were like 15 or 16. And that was in the, I don't remember what they call it, but it was in the Circus, and it was when they had rides. I don't even know if that still exists.
I wonder if they do.
It was like in a big pink dome.
Yeah.
It was like a theme park. It's like what we were talking about last week, the theme parks and the fun family stuff in Vegas. It's now gone.
It's so crazy, and you're absolutely right. Like, where are the arcades and shit these days? There's no family entertainment anymore. It's Sin City. Kids don't belong in Sin City.
Are you talking about Vegas, or are you talking about the world?
The world. The whole world's Sin City. Sinners. Internal.
You're all gonna burn.
Internal damnation. Lake of fire. Lake of fire.
That's right.
We don't want to end up there.
What is your shirt? What are you representing here?
This, I went to a Rafael Lovato Jr. seminar. And he's kind of a big deal in the jiu-jitsu world. And this is one of the shirts that he, it's kind of a play on the Super Mario Brothers.
I thought maybe you're in a video game competition.
Oh, no.
Seems like something you would...
My video games is like the internet marketing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to a jiu-jitsu seminar though next month. Dan Camarillo, Dan and Dave Camarillo. Have you heard of those guys?
No.
They're kind of a big deal in the jiu-jitsu world too. Anyway, Dan Camarillo is a judo black belt and Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt too, and real badass. And he's friends with Henry Akins, and I know Henry, and so they're having a seminar next month down in L.A.
Okay.
And he's going to teach takedowns. Going to L.A. And then I got like another trip. For San Diego, like a couple of weeks after that.
Is that for jiu-jitsu? Or is that for?
That's another marketing conference.
Okay.
It's just another fun party. Like I think I've said this more than once, but you're in the right spot when you're looking forward to going to the industry trade shows in which you work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if people are dragging their ass and rolling their eyes about it, you're probably in the wrong business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting ready to go climb outside here in a few days.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that.
First time in like 6 months.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Over 6 months.
How long can you climb before your foot hurts, or does it?
It's more. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I've been going climbing just in the gym like 4 times a week for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So my foot's getting stronger.
Yeah. But just putting weight on it and getting up on that's good. I mean, that's good because it's kind of strengthening things.
Yeah, that's what the old docs told me today.
Yeah.
But I'm more worried about the hike getting out to these.
Oh,
climbs,
yeah.
Because that'll be more strenuous
on
my foot. Just got to go slow.
Yeah.
But
who are you climbing with? Taking Curtis? Sam?
I think, Sam is planning the soonest trip.
The what now?
The soonest.
What's the soonest?
The closest this week.
Oh, the closest trip.
Yeah.
I see. Are you guys camping
Closest
out there?
date-wise.
Are you guys-
They are.
Oh, they are.
One of my recent work schedule changes has me working till like 9:15 that night.
Son of a bitches.
So if I go there, I'll be getting there at like midnight.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably do that and then just get up and hit it early in the morning.
Just get up and hit it early in the morning.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to be climbing, you think?
Some out of Pinnacles.
Some 5'7", 5'8" thing, kind of thing? Or
we might go a little. I think we'll go harder than that.
you going to go hard?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not going to be leading it,
That's good.
you know. So we'll probably just set up some. I mean, Sam might lead some stuff. I'm going to wait a little while till my foot's stronger.
Take lots of
before
pictures.
I start leading. Yeah.
Take
I'll do
lots
that.
of pictures.
But the area I want to go to is mostly like 5'10", couple. 5'10"
Dang. With your foot like that?
That's on top rope. You can't.
Okay, you can't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
can't
good.
die.
You can't.
Low risk.
It's nobody wants to go out and die. It's not gonna rain, is it? Rain's been crazy.
Rain will cancel our trip because I was supposed to go out with Sean this last weekend.
Canceled.
Yeah, actually yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. Yeah, the rain pretty much ruins that.
Weather has been so brutal lately, in a good way. Gives me the only problem is though with weather like this is that I get super lazy, and I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been like that for like a month.
I get the same way, but I live way up in the mountains.
Yeah.
And it rains and like all the roads get closed. Or
Yeah,
it's a huge mess.
You
to go
guys are-
out. There's
yeah.
detours everywhere. It's like
It's
I don't wanna
almost
deal
like
with
a
it.
natural emergency up there, like a natural disaster.
Dude, there are roads that collapsed, like completely collapsed. You can look at pictures and it looks like you see a road.
Really?
And it looks like a 20-foot drop where it just got wiped out.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. The trees. That's the thing around here. Trees always blow over. Like trees that are like 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
They've been around for like 100 years. And they just one day just blow over in a storm.
Yeah, that happens up there all the time.
And you look at the roots. You look at the roots, and they're like super shallow. You're like, what's going on here? It's kind of strange, because trees don't fall over, right?
Yeah.
100-foot trees like that have been around for 100 years just don't fall over. But around here, the root systems are so shallow that it happens a lot.
Is it the type of tree?
No, because it seems like not all trees are included under this,
Yeah.
but a lot of different trees do this all the time. Even smoke trees. It's crazy. But yeah, mostly these like big eucalyptus trees and stuff, man. Boom.
Yeah, the redwoods, they share a root system.
Yeah, they're a lot
like
smarter.
a big family, They keep each other up.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe these trees that are falling over aren't indigenous, and
They're the dumb trees.
and the trees that are indigenous here, they're like, not in my backyard, asshole. Get out of my country.
There are some redwoods that fall, quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've been in Henry Cow Park when a big tree fell.
I bet it sounds amazing.
Oh,
huh?
it's crazy.
It's like a TNT or something.
It's scary until you can see it and know that you're
You're not
clear.
gonna die. Yeah,
And then it's just pretty intense to watch.
that would be pretty creepy.
And then it's over.
Did you know there was an accident in Disneyland? I can't remember when it happened. I need to find it. Anyway, it's like one of the biggest tragedies in Disneyland history.
Recently?
No, this has been years.
Okay.
We'll start here. I'll try to build the story up, and then maybe we should come back after researching it so
Yeah.
I could remember what it is. But I guess they had. You remember that Jungle Adventure?
Yeah. Where the little crocodiles come up.
Yeah,
and safari.
So you get on a boat, and,
Yeah.
and the guy who's doing the talking is pretty funny and everything. I guess they had a similar ride, like early. I don't know when, like 20, 30 years before that, maybe. And they would pull the truck. And I think the boats were a little more manual too. I don't think they were sitting on a track or anything. So they're
Yeah.
like legit boats that are like going up and down the river, controlled by humans.
Oh, they're actually have oars.
Yeah, they're not like animatronic, and I think they had motors, and they were really heavy.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to piece this all together because the way I read the story was there was a bunch of people on the dock waiting to board the ride. Right, so the boat had not returned from its trip, from its voyage, and I guess as the boat was approaching, they threw out the line to the people on the pier. And these piers are all kind of small, right? Because it's just a ride.
Yeah.
And what happened? Yeah, they put the line down, and the boat was still going too fast, and it had too much momentum, right? So what ended up happening was a cleat on the boat ripped off, and because these lines were made of synthetic something or another, they weren't hemp. I guess I might have this backwards. If the hemp get too tight, they just fray. No, wait, no, the hemp actually. The hemp boat. Remember that from the Navy days?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think the hemp boats are the original ones. The original lines.
Is it nylon, the one that stretches? And then
I think the synthetic nylon ones is like a mixture of the two materials. Will just snap and fray, right? Anyway, I think they had the hemp lines on there, and so the hemp basically just pulled the cleat off the boat, causing this slingshot of a cleat to go into the crowd.
Just wipe out a bunch of people.
It wiped out like a mom and a dad in front of their two kids. Like the dad got slapped in the face, like took his head off.
Oh my god!
And then somehow like the recoil hit the mom, and mom ended up in like critical condition, and then in the hospital and died in the hospital.
So much for the happiest place on earth.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
Do you know at the end of the Pirates of the Caribbean how you come around the corner and there's like a bed with a skeleton in it?
It's been so long, but
that
sure.
That is an actual human skeleton.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
There's a lot of weird stuff at Disneyland.
That's kind of a fun little
and I forget,
fact.
I don't remember the story on it, but I know it's an actual human skeleton.
Man.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember, I remember Disneyland as a really fun place, but I'm kind of afraid to go there again. I think there's too many people now and too expensive, and I'm too much of a tightwad to let them gouge me.
Well, especially if you pay that much money and then you can't get on anything.
Yeah,
because the lines are so
long.
That
sounds kind of like what the deal is there.
I know. The most fun I had at Disneyland was probably when we went in high school.
When we dropped acid.
That was fun.
At the grad night. The whole school was on acid.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And the other schools too. Everybody was. Don't ask me how it got in the water. I have no idea.
Yeah, some bad kid. Got everybody.
Some bad actor in our class ended up.
It was a false flag event.
Big time. Big time. It was super fun though. So it felt like I seen Alice in Chains.
I was just thinking about that. They're robots.
Yeah, such a good time. Yeah, I don't know. I heard they have little mafia type. Not mafia, but gang territorial families that show up to Disneyland, and the families are so big, and they go there so frequently that they've created for themselves kind of a family on family competition, like Keeping Up with the Joneses kind of thing.
What?
Yeah. So you'll go there and you'll see these large families wearing like the same shirt so they can identify themselves as like the Jones family, or something. And you'll see like these huge crews of like families that show up.
And what's the point?
That's their thing. There is really no point.
We love Disneyland.
It's stupid. It really is. It's stupid, but it's what they do. It's like their bonding thing as a family. And it seems like I guess there was like some conflict because these families get somewhat territorial, I guess. Don't ask me why.
This is our ride.
People, human nature. It's only human nature to develop a tribe and then to sit there and figure out some way to
claim
something for unnecessary. Yeah, I could only imagine, but yeah, that's what.
Did they have little battles? They were getting fights.
I think
family on family.
That could be why there was a news article about it. Was that they got in a fight with each other? It was a little bit of a scramble. Could you imagine that? Could you just imagine like 50 of your relatives? That's what you did. You go to Disneyland and you just represent.
I think that's how the Hatfield and McCoy's feud started.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what
at Disneyland?
What's the story with that Hatfield?
Oh, it was the Old West days. It was two families. I don't know what originally they fought over, but it was two families that had this little skirmish, and they ended up like lasting for years until they ended up shooting each other, and like,
oh yeah,
people were dying. It wasn't really over Disneyland.
That's what countries do all the time.
Yeah, just on a bigger scale
for thousands of years.
That's war.
Even. Yeah, fascinating. But yeah,
human nature.
Fucking humans. So, just trying to brave the storm. Yeah, watching a lot of TV. Can't go outside. Yeah, not doing the things that I'm normally doing. I've been beat to shit with this whole winter. This whole winter beat me up pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I was coming out of like a really good long workout phase, so I was in really good shape. But I was like, I was at my limit. Like I was burning out really fast. Like I'd go to the gym and I'd just be like irritable just because I was there. I was just like, I don't really want to be here anymore.
This is not fun.
Yeah.
It's a chore.
That's it. I had lost the motivation.
Yeah.
I was still I was running on habit, but I had lost the motivation. And so it was starting to really wear on me. And then of course the weather started getting worse. Right. Yeah. And then my wife took off for Europe for 3 weeks. And I think like the combination of all of that stuff like triggered something in my head, and I just got lazy, like really lazy. I got overworked on one side, right? Yeah. So my focus and my energy went into like getting work done, and then
I could see your mental change just from listening to some of our old episodes.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You're sad.
Yeah,
you had your little depressed face.
I did. It was like it's where I feel
you
like
went to your breathing exercises.
I feel like I'm a. First part is kind of like acknowledging and identifying things. Yeah. You know, once you've identified and acknowledged them, then it's easy to let them go, you know, or at least figure out solutions to those problems, you know. And then the more you talk about it too, like this is another great thing about having this little podcast.
Getting it off your chest.
Just talking about it, you know.
Whether anybody's listening or not.
The big secret that nobody knows is that I started this podcast with you because I needed a therapist.
There we go.
And
I'm a good listener.
All you got to do is listen. Yeah. That's all you got to do. And then the recording is just a bonus.
Yeah.
Anybody else who needs the help, at least they can.
If you need help, listen to the I Don't Know For Sure show.
Because nobody knows for sure.
Nobody knows. Yeah. We're all in the same boat.
We're all in the same boat. What you've been taught is completely bananas and upside down. Wrong. Sorry to tell you that.
Wrong.
You got to remember who wrote the history books.
Yeah. Whoever won.
Two sides to every
story. How much of history do you think like big events that we know of as true is complete bullshit because it's just been rewritten?
My guess is
I say a lot,
and I say a lot too. And of course, the further back you go, the more ambiguous they becomes.
Yeah. The
more diluted it becomes, the more subjective it becomes. You know. Yeah, you're absolutely right, but I think a huge amount, man. I think a lot of it's. I mean, if anything, what we're experiencing now in this country has probably always happened in terms of like the corruptness, the shit, the
changing
shading
of power,
the shading shit, all that shady shit. Most of it's probably always happened. We just didn't have the privilege of transparency that the internet gives us.
But we pretty much knew that like all governments have always been pretty shitty.
Well, everybody but us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it's always been. Yeah. It's always been everybody but us.
Because we're perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's the way we've been told.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the beauty of the internet, is you start to realize that, the emperor has no clothes.
Yeah.
It's like they're opening the kimono and revealing the truth, And everybody's getting outraged, but I'm like, you agree, this is probably nothing new. It's the same shit that's been probably going on since we started this country.
Yep.
You could see, the atrocities with the Indians and slavery and so forth. I mean, those are just like accounted things that it's not. I mean, we're not doing that now, but we have different degrees of like corrupt, stupid shit that we shouldn't be doing. Racism is a good one from the '60s, from the most recent times. The LGBT stuff too. They're like the new black people. So it's like there's always going to be somebody that's a target.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen after those people. But it's human nature in a lot of ways, I think.
That's the one good thing. Like, people that are way on this side, and there are people that are way on this side, both drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand
it.
The
truth is...
But you need that, right? Because that's what keeps both other sides in check.
Yeah, and I think the truth is that everybody, mostly everybody, is neither one or the other.
Yeah.
You're going to find those people, obviously, but we're all in the middle. We're both a little Democrat. We're both a little Republican. We all have those... We're human beings, right?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why this whole system, two-party system, is fucking bonkers, because not one person fits into one or another unless you have some sort of social problem, social intelligence
most of it
issue.
comes down to funding, who's going to pay them, and that's the opinion that they're going to have, right?
That's a big,
So you're going to fund my campaign. My opinion is what you want it to be.
And that's another reason why, just the idea that the whole money thing is just driven all this human emotion and all this human development, the stuff that could potentially be the. I mean, technically, it's like money is the root of all evil. You know how that old saying goes.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it is like the money will be the downfall of like human civilization.
Because money is power, right?
Yeah, absolute power corrupts.
Yeah.
Well,
the more you have, the more you want.
We just proved that money equals power right there.
Mathematically.
Algebraically. Did you hear that? Write that down. That's the very first for me and you.
Yeah. And you.
Yeah, it's so weird, man, but it's so true, right?
Yeah.
The irony is that we all know it, yet our actions seem to dictate otherwise. Like it's not even within our control. We can't control ourselves. We complain about this 1%, these billionaires who have all of the wealth and everything, but yet what do? We vote a billionaire in the epitome of what we complain about into office to lead us. You know what I'm saying? It just human beings never cease to amaze me.
What a world! What a world we live in.
Yeah, there's this guy named Gary Halbert. He's a copywriter. He's no longer alive, but he wrote this book called The Boron Letters, and he wrote it while he was in prison in Boron, California, next to us.
Yeah.
We live out in Boron, and I forgot why he went to prison, but what he was doing was what a copywriter is. A good copywriter gets paid lots of money to persuade you with advertising. So when they write an advertisement in a magazine or it could be a television ad or the internet, there's going to be certain behavioral psychological elements in there, some emotional triggers that eventually, after you read this whole thing, will compel you to take some kind of action.
Yeah.
That's what a good copywriter will do. And Gary Halbert did this on a very good, very high level, and one of the best in the world. And anyway, he got into trouble with some deals or something, and ended up having to serve some time in prison. So he was writing one of his sons, these letters, teaching him like how to do what he does, right? And how to, and it's all tied into the marketing stuff that I do, right? So the reason why I read the Boron Letters is because it's such a great book that teaches.
Is that what it's called, the Boron Letters?
It's called the Boron Letters, yeah. And one of the big things that one of the big messages that I took away was because he was a master at human behavior. He just knew what got people like to buy stuff.
Yeah,
that's what made him so good. And one of the big things he said was people have this self-image that they think they are. They think they're this one person. They project themselves as this person, but really, that's just like the ego talking. Really, there's another side that really dictates who they are and how they take action, right? And he used this example when he was teaching at some university, and he was like, "How many of you here prefer theater over movies?" And like 2/3 of the class raised their hands for like the theater, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Okay, how many of you in the past weekend went and watched a movie?" And then like 2/3 of the class raised their hands, right? So like, well, obviously you think you like theater, but you really pull out your credit card for the movies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it's more accessible too.
It could be,
right?
Yeah, it could be more accessible. It could be that the theater is right there on campus. You
have a movie theater like on every town, several.
Yeah. But if you're at
and the movies are playing from morning till night every single day.
Yeah. Well, it could be because of that, but most likely.
If I like theater more, I would drive the extra mile scheduled around to see that.
That's the point, right? The point is if you're going to raise your hand and say you like theater more, but then you're going to really see movies more often, then chances are you're not. What you think is wrong. Yeah. You really like movies more.
But people want to see more sophisticated, right? They're like, oh, of course I like theater more.
That's the ego talking, right? So that's America.
Yeah.
That's America.
Of course we are the best country on the planet.
America wants to think, and this is human nature. This is everybody. It's not just America.
Yeah, everybody's country.
But yeah, the example is everybody thinks they're one way, but they really behave in another way all the time. And the skill of being a good marketing person and a good copywriter is identifying that other way.
Okay.
Because that's the stuff, when you write for that other person, that's the stuff that actually gets you to do things.
So how do you identify that if, like somebody's like, it's not like you could give somebody a survey or something because what they say is not.
Yeah, so think about this. You know why you hear the word data thrown around, big data thrown around, and how they're tracking you and getting all of your behaviors and your habits and stuff?
Okay, so they see what you're doing.
Now it's starting to make sense because if you're starting to pull all this data together from Facebook, from Google, the things that you're Googling, the things that you're liking on Facebook, you pull all of that together and you put it
Like a profile. You
in
figure out
pretty
exactly-
graphs. Yeah.
You can figure out the age of somebody, what they enjoy, all their hobbies.
Demographics, affinities, education, how much money they make, all of that stuff starts to paint that picture. And that's why this big data thing is such a huge deal these days.
It's kind of scary though. It's just so easy to.
It's creepy scary. Yeah. They have way more information. It's all kind of metadata. It's not like they're like looking at you individually. It's just a collective amount of information. But hey, if you're in the business of selling cars and you're selling like a Chevy Impala, you ever see cars on the road? And you're like,
No, I don't.
why would somebody buy that piece of shit car?
Yeah.
Like who would buy a Pontiac Sunfire?
Somebody loves everything.
Right?
There's somebody out there for everything.
And there's also movies out there. You watch this movie and you're like, who in the fuck would watch this movie? This is a piece of shit movie, right? The big takeaway is it wasn't written for you, or it wasn't created for you, right? Because there's all of these affinities out there, all of these people. Who likes the Pontiac Sunfire? It's
Who
probably
the hell likes rom-com?
who likes rom-com. I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing until recently.
What is rom-com?
I think it's romantic comedy.
Oh,
Rom-com. Gene's
nice.
favorite type of flick.
Dude, I just like to lay down on my couch in the middle of the night when it's raining and just have a good rom-com running.
Rom-com and chill.
I just like to rom-com and chill. Yeah. Yeah. I heard Netflix and chill is all about banging. Is that true? It's all about having sex with rubbers.
I thought it was about watching movies and hanging out.
No, I think it's about banging.
Oh.
Yeah. Turns out.
Turns out.
Yeah. Remember when LOL was lots of love?
Lots
and you're
of
like,
love.
Nope, completely wrong. It's laughing out loud.
I don't even remember it being lots of love. Maybe I do. Maybe that's
I think everybody's first inclination when they see that is lots of love.
Well, it's kind of like hashtag.
It's like hashtag.
That was pound sign for me. When I was hearing all this
Pound sign.
hashtag stuff,
It was,
I was like,
it's
what is
always been pound sign for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hashtag.
It's hashtag. Yeah, I don't even think of it as pound anymore.
Yeah, pound. I'm like, that's stupid.
Hashtag.
It's dumb. It's a hashtag. Hashtag don't give a damn. Yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in, though.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, but Jesus candles are still kicking after like 10 episodes. I think I bought these after...
It's actually one Jesus candle. I'm pretty sure this one's not Jesus.
Is that the Virgin Mary? Or Virgin de Guadalupe?
Yes, de Guadalupe.
I should find... what we should do is try to score all the Virgin... or all the saints.
All the virgins.
All the Virgin saints.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think-
Candles? How many are there? I don't know.
Well, how many saints are there?
You got me.
Fuck, I don't know.
Does each one have a candle?
I'm guessing they probably... if I was a business that put out candles like this, I would have every single one of them. I'd have every character. Every character in the whole fucking story.
I wonder do you know what the story is on these? Like, I guess that they say on the back. I'm not going to read it right now.
It's in Spanish, too.
Oh.
Oh, wait, and this one's in English. Prayer to
We got 'em
the
in
Sacred
both.
Hearts of Jesus. Well, I'm glad they're looking out. Because usually I had to go to the Hispanic grocery store to procure those, sir. Yeah.
You need a neon sign.
A neon sign would be nice.
A neon sign right there.
We could throw one up. What do you think? What should it say?
I don't know. I was thinking on air at first, but
On air's kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah. It may be too distracting.
Toss around some ideas.
Yeah. For one, I'll have to see what's available.
Yeah.
Neon's expensive if you customize it. Like you have to have somebody blow the glass and everything.
Yeah. On air is probably one that's common.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Google.
I'll put it out in the living room so my wife can see it and she won't make any noise.
If you want to buy something, can you somehow affiliate market yourself? So you buy something and you get the money for the connection.
You can. Yeah, you can.
It's just like a discount.
Yeah, you
Probably
can.
more trouble than it's worth.
I did it when I bought my home security system
Okay.
here in the house.
And your modern shed plans.
Yeah. I've done so much, I swear to God. I've been around the world. I know. When I was running home security, like an offer. So I have a website that sells home security services. And the offer I had picked up was Vivint Home Security. And I was really angry with ADT because it turns out, like, I've been paying all this money every month, and the stupid system that was in the house is like, it was an obsolete system. They didn't say anything about it. They just kind of wired it up the way they thought they...
You won't know the difference.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And one day it wasn't working, and then the dude comes out, and he's like, man, this thing hasn't been working for 9 months. And I'm like,
he just tells you that?
Yeah.
That's smart.
And he's just a technician, you
Yeah.
know. So he's like, I don't give a shit. This is some shitty corporate office, that at selling you this. You know, I'm just a technician. And I'm like, why? You know, okay, I'm getting a new system. You know, they suck. You know, ADT sucks. I think ADT sucks. And so I called the Vivint people, and they have like all this smart stuff now, right? So they got a doorbell camera. They got you know, your thermostat and stuff's all controlled through your app, which is controlled through your security system.
Is that what you
now.
have?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have a camera on your doorbell?
I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that. I was like, I don't really need that. But
you got a window.
yeah, I don't need the camera. But they have like these portable cameras. They just connect to everything, it seems like. So and it's cheaper too. It's like way cheaper than the ADT bullshit that I was doing. So I called mine. I ended up with like making $150 off my own home security system, which is a good way to start. You know? Yeah. I filmed it because I was creating a course for other affiliate marketers that do the same thing I was doing.
Yeah.
So part of the course was, you know, me talking to, you know, doing this whole thing, right? Because there's a lot of good information in there if you want to sell that particular product. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, you can if you want.
I'm trying to imagine your typical day. How often do you have like a camera on you and on?
Not often.
Okay.
I'm going to here pretty soon though.
I mean, even including like Snapchat. You're not on that as much.
I don't get on there anymore. You know, my problem with Snapchat is it's like you make stuff and it just goes away.
Yeah.
It's kind of a waste of time. You know, I'm not on there trying to market to people, you know. So if you're not really on there to sell anything,
you're just having fun.
You're just on there to have fun, and I just don't have time to have fun.
I ain't got time for fun.
At least not that kind of fun. Because it's not even that fun, honestly. It's just like...
I never really use it.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't understand... you know, I don't understand...
You know, all those apps are kind of fun temporarily.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
It's like it's new.
They're
it's like, oh, look, Periscope. We can see people live. And it's like,
gimmicky.
all right.
Yeah.
Kind of over it.
I think if you stay the course and you really get into it, you know, it'll be rewarding. But then the double-edged sword there is you got to be into it.
Yeah. And then you're focused on one thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is okay. Like YouTube, for example, right? YouTube is just like another Snapchat, right? Yeah. Except for it's YouTube.
And things are there forever.
Yeah. So there's a reason for guys like you and me to do YouTube, right? We have a reason. We're motivated to do it, you know. And likewise, there may be somebody on Snapchat that feels that way about Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't for me. It was early on. It was. I thought, oh, this is cool, you know. And then I could collect that and put it on my YouTube channel. I could just download my snaps.
Yeah.
And then I have, you know, the best of both worlds going on. And that lasted like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, that's too much work. You know, this whole Snapchat thing is kind of tedious. It was on my little iPhone.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the ass.
I remember watching some of your videos. And I remember what would be frustrating for me if I did that was you'd be like in mid-sentence, you know, blah, 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 and then it cut off. You had to start a new video.
Isn't that annoying?
And then you're like, okay, where were we? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. That was another problem.
That would drive me crazy if I was doing it.
Yeah, that's another problem. Is
Damn it. You just record longer.
Like, what's the deal with this stupid little 10-second thing? That just kind of drives me crazy. It should be as long or as short as you want.
Yeah, maybe it's just bandwidth or something.
Could be. I have no idea. Anyway, it's kind of dumb. I think they wanted to do something like Twitter with like the 140 character limit or something.
I still don't use Twitter.
I like Twitter. I use Twitter just to follow a few people that I like.
Yeah.
It is like when you're tapped into like kind of like the mainstream of things, it is like the first response.
Yeah.
That's like the first responder right there. So if some shit's going down, it's going to hit Twitter probably before anything else.
I mean, that's what the president uses.
That's what that guy uses. It's hilarious. He's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like it. I like that because, yeah, if you're following people like your favorite comedians or your favorite musicians or, you know, whatever, all the shit that interests you, that's where everybody's kind of like doing their real-time interacting.
Is it to the point where people are posting pictures and stuff now, or is it still just you got like a sentence?
Yeah. No. It's completely interactive now.
Okay.
There's movies and stuff you could upload, you know, links of everything. Yeah.
So it's basically like Facebook.
Yeah, it's kind of like your Facebook wall, only it's not like, you know, you have more control. I feel like you have more control over what you're seeing. Okay. You still get sponsored ads and stuff in there, but Facebook, I just log in and I just like get repulsed.
Yeah,
I'm just like, fuck, I hate this. I hate the way it looks. I hate the way it feels. I hate the stupid shit that just shows up over and over. I hate being notified about all of these people I'm not interested in every 10 minutes, you know? It's just like stuff like that. And they're like, oh, it's my responsibility to go turn it all off and make all the changes. And like, I don't have time for that. I don't care, you know? That's kind of where I'm at with that thing.
Yeah. And most of the time it's just people bitching anyway.
Yeah, like poor Aaron Cooper is just, that guy just doesn't shut up. I love Aaron, but man, that guy is just like he's just a machine with all the politics.
Yeah, I've gone through, and anytime I saw a political post from like almost a year ago, I've just unfollowed the person. Or I mean, maybe not if it's one or two.
Yeah.
But if it's a lot,
I
just unfollow. Just so I get so sick of seeing them.
Yeah.
On either way.
I had one dude. One dude was like, one guy I know. He's like, he was like a jiu-jitsu buddy from like 5 years ago, and he was a military officer at the time too. And he had like some things like, I don't know what he says. Like he's like it was when Obama was on his way out, and he's like, if you think Obama was a good president or blah 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 blah, you should just unfriend me right now, that kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't really have an opinion on the president, but just because you said that, I'm fucking done with you.
That's
just because why
you're gonna let like a friendship get in the way of it.
I was like, why would you even post something like that? And like, if that's the kind of emotion that you're gonna you're gonna convey on Facebook, I don't even want to see your stuff anymore. So watch what you say.
Watch what you say. Watch what you say, or you'll get unfriended.
It's just like writing an angry email. Yeah. You should never have to write an
People are so brave when they're behind their monitor.
Yeah, that's a big problem. It's and that's a funny thing you see like in the internet marketing industry too.
Yeah.
You got a lot of ego, But then you see them in real life, they're just, they're like that 12-year-old little brat. It's like, why would you even say something like that on the internet?
That's a problem with the internet.
That's the problem. No, the anonymity.
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 Yes, it's wacky tobacco. The internet. Yeah. Anyway, man, just trying to brave the storm. I hope you're trying to brave the storm. I hope you're drinking lots of fluids,
lots of water,
lots of good fluids, lots of water, lots of Rockstar energy drink.
I get my fill of that every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, get your fix out of the old Success fridge. Monday.
Sugar free.
Yeah, no calories.
So what's the difference between that one and that one?
This one's twice the caffeine.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't have that.
That's why I didn't give it to you.
Yeah,
I was looking out for you.
I don't even drink coffee.
Yeah, I drink everything except alcohol.
Yeah.
It doesn't work too well for me. I think I have a sugar problem now. I like to go through all these problems. I think everybody has the same.
You have lots of problems.
I think people all have these problems. It's just they don't identify them as problems. They just accept them.
I like soda. That's a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah, well,
Pepsi.
A problem is when you drink 2 liters a day.
Oh, I don't do anything near that.
I watched the diabetes documentary once, and they're following this guy around, and he would like go to 7-Eleven every day. You remember those
2 liters of Pepsi every day?
Yeah. Do you remember those big gulps?
Yeah.
They're 64 ounces, and 64 ounces is what, half a gallon or a gallon? I think it's,
I don't know,
half a gallon. It's like a liter, or a liter or two or something. It's a lot of fucking water. Yeah. He would fill that up with a Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is twice the caffeine, twice the sugar. Or is that Jolt Cola? Anyway,
either way,
it's a lot.
Jolt is the one that has a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, and Mountain Dew though is like the worst.
I mean, none of that.
It's the worst out of all of the like mainstream sodas, not counting Jolt.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, the guy had diabetes, and they followed him around like what he would get. He wasn't getting it anymore. He's like, but this is what I would used to do. He's like, every morning I'd go to 7-Eleven and I'd get one of these big gulps full of Mountain Dew. And he'd get like 6 donuts or something like that. And this is like his daily regimen.
Wow.
And
these servings just keep getting bigger and bigger. I got a soda at like some fast food place the other day, and I wanted just medium.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be average, 16 ounces or
beverage,
something.
Yeah.
The thing looked like it was like 32 ounces.
Yeah.
It was a medium.
Yeah, it's really bad in restaurants, man, because they try to justify the expense of a meal so they can increase the value, the cash register value. So in order to do that, they give you more beans, they give you more rice, they give you more of those grainy, nasty, like fat producing foods. So you feel like you've gotten more value out of your overpriced meal.
I don't have that big of an appetite ever.
Yeah.
So I'd be happier if I could get like a half order almost everywhere I go.
Yeah. And in fact, that's probably, I used to do that, and I don't know why I stopped.
Can you go to a restaurant and say I want a half order?
Ask for a half order. No, ask for a full order, and then ask for a box on the side, and then remove half of it, and then take it home with you.
Yeah.
That's what works. That's what works. Put it underneath your chair so you don't see it.
Yeah.
And then do it immediately before you start eating, I'm gonna start doing this too now that we
I
bring
need
it
to
up.
start eating leftovers. That's my problem. I'm not a big leftover fan.
I hate, I'm the same way. Like I cannot, if it's in the fridge more than 2 days, it's
gross.
done. It might as well be a month.
Yep.
Yeah, don't ask me why. It's just psychology. There's something in my brain that thinks that way. I got my friend Greg. My friend Greg, with he'll find it a month later and eat it, and get sick. He loves that shit. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's a little bit different. But yeah,
And get sick.
Get sick.
He loves that shit. The vicious cycle.
That's why meal prepping, I think, is so important.
Yeah.
Like you get in a routine where you know what the base foods are. You can spice them up and prepare them any way you want. But when you know you're going to be eating 6 ounces of chicken breast and 2 cups of vegetables, you can prepare that in advance and have that all laid out.
So I know I was asking you about meal prep a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So I haven't done it all the way.
Yeah.
But what I have done is I've been buying, I get big bags of peppers and onions and all the vegetables, and I chop all them up and put them in the Tupperware, whatever. And it just saves a ton of time.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
And then I never have to really think about what I'm going to have for dinner. Maybe like a main course.
You know what I've been doing lately is I go to Safeway. Safeway's gotten really smart about this. They now meal prep for you. So they'll sell in a small meal size,
like stir fry. We get those. Yeah, we get those a lot.
And they're $3.99 a piece, or they're 3 for $10, and each one is like a meal.
Yeah.
Right. So I can go there, and I usually buy like $30 worth of those things, and then that way when I go to prepare my meals, I fry that up with some chicken breasts.
Yeah.
That I've already baked. So I just mix them up, cook the two. And then I make meals that way. That way I don't have to do all that cutting.
Yeah.
And break out the board and everything.
Sometimes
it's therapy. It's like doing yard work.
Yeah, I like doing it once every few days.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than having to do it every night.
Yeah. Well, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. After a while, you want to just get to that point where food is like something you're not even thinking about because it's just so streamlined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of fell off the board. I kind of fell off on that one too.
Yeah.
I just ran out of time.
I don't think I've fallen off. I've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm going in the right direction.
That's good.
I just haven't gone
full
all
bar.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've cut out a ton of the bad stuff. I'm eating breakfast now.
Yeah.
Eating a lot of fruits and a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I just got to keep it up, develop that habit, and figure out how to optimize it so it's just easier and easier and easier. Because the easier it is, the more you'll do.
Yeah.
Right? So, that was my big discovery, though, was the Safeway thing. That's so good, man. They meal prep everything for you. I go to Costco for all my chicken breasts because it's organic, and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So it's like $2 a breast or something.
Yeah, we go to Trader Joe's to get a bag.
That's even better. It's like the same thing.
That's good. I love Trader Joe's.
Yeah, Trader Joe's is...
I'll go to Trader Joe's and I'll spend, say, $50.
Yeah.
And I measure it on how many bags I can fill up.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 bags, $50-$60.
Yeah.
The same amount for half a bag in Safeway.
Dude,
Maybe.
I've been to Whole Foods and I've spent $25 and literally walked out with something smaller in my hand. Yeah.
Sandwich.
I've spent $100 and couldn't fill a bag with it.
Yeah.
They're just so ridiculous.
I went grocery shopping at Whole Foods for the first time the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think I've been in there before, but never actually did my shopping there. But I got a lot. Yeah, it was expensive.
It's silly. That's another ego trip kind of place where people show up just to shop to show off their money.
Yeah, it smells like patchouli
and and you know what? Whole Foods knows that too. They know people shop there not because they want the best food. It's because it's an ego play.
Yeah,
it's all about how much it's status.
Whole Foods.
I'm gonna pull in with my Mercedes and I'm gonna shop at Whole Foods.
And I'm gluten free.
That's right. And I'm bringing my dogs.
I'm bringing my dogs. That's about right.
So true. Welcome to Carmel.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to Carmel.
Yeah, in Santa Cruz, there's not the Mercedes thing.
Yeah.
You get a lot of not even hippie. What's the word?
Beatnik?
Yeah, I guess.
Kind
of Santa Cruz style,
Yeah, like the kind of people that would the mountain winery kind of people. The kind of people that have made money as tech people, but they're hippies at heart. No,
like yoga people.
Oh yeah,
like that whole.
Yeah,
people are getting their chakras aligned.
Oh yeah, I went to Xavier.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, hey, line all your shit. I don't care. Yeah, I went to. I think it was Xavier Rudd. You ever heard of that guy? I think that's his name.
Familiar,
he's like an really.
That's like the fourth person you asked me if I've heard of tonight. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm probably getting all the names wrong too.
Yeah, okay, that makes me feel better.
But I did go. I was in Nicaragua. Here's what happened. I was in Nicaragua, and I can't wait to go back to Nicaragua.
Well, no wonder I haven't heard of him.
Yeah. Well, Xavier Rudd's from Australia.
Okay.
But I was in Nicaragua. We were at the beach. We're at this place called I can't even remember the name of the place. It's like paradise, though. It's amazing, right? You're in this restaurant. It's kind of a place where the youth come to like work and vacation during the summer, and so it's kind of like a what do they call those houses, or those kind of like long-term housing for like students and stuff?
Yeah.
It's not like a hostel, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
But it has this restaurant. What the hell is that name? Paradise something. Anyway, really beautiful place, man. You're overlooking the ocean. The surf is amazing. It's a jungle area. It's just beautiful, right?
It's like paradise.
It's paradise. It really is. You're in a rainforest, and I was sitting there, and everybody's out surfing. You can see them surfing, like they're kind of out. We're on a cliff, right? So like they have to kind of walk down and get to the water, and everybody's surfing, and I'm just kind of hanging out. I think I was drinking at the time, so I had like I was drinking a beer. And I'm just like, I'm listening to the radio. They just had this Xavier Rudd playing. They've been playing Jack Johnson. It's like this really nice, like just really cool music all day long. And it's kind of a yogi kind of place, right? Yeah. So you get these surfers and these yoga people, and they're from all over the world, and they're all attracted to this one place. I'll find it because I want to bring it up next time, so if people are listening. It's so cool. Yeah. And then I started listening to this guy Xavier Rudd, and I just like fell in love with this dude's voice.
I think you sent me some music.
Yeah, probably. It's like for some reason there was just something in my head that just like boom resonated. I'm like, wow, I really like that. And the guy plays, so he plays all this acoustic stuff. It's really nice. But I had no idea who his following was, and he was coming to Santa Cruz, and so I was like, oh, I got to go to this show. So I invite my friend Aurelio, and like we're going to this show. And we get there to the show, and it's the Catalyst, right? So it's just
your
like
favorite,
fucking jam-packed. I hate that place. It's just jam-packed. They put as many people as they can in there. There's no place to sit really, unless you've like been sitting there for 5 hours already.
Now imagine being there on crutches.
Yeah, fuck that.
I had to do that a couple times.
I told you, I just won't do it. Even my favorite bands now, I just won't even do it. But yeah, it was the same experience, right? Except for these are all yogi people, and they're like these kind of beatnik, gentrified, like snobby yoga people.
Yeah.
At least that was the vibe I got from them. And it was annoying. It was just like so annoying. You ever see that meme? I don't know what it is. It's kind of like it's kind of like the feminism meme with like the chick with the glasses and the dreadlocks and like the reggae hair, like the white chick.
Yeah.
And I was like, imagine a room full of those people. That's kind of how I felt. And then
that's kind of like the Whole Foods people.
It's the same people, man. It's the same kind of people almost. Yeah, and we were there till like. He didn't even go on stage until like 11:30, and we had like sat there and absorbed all of this like bullshit for like 3 hours because it was like 3 hours late or something. We didn't even watch the show.
Yeah,
we just left. It was
didn't even see the show.
Nah, like just as he was about to start to play the first song, like me and my buddy were like, "You ready to get the fuck out of here?" Because I can't tolerate these people anymore. And he was like, "Let's go." Yeah, so we missed the whole show. It was hilarious. It was kind of a funny thing, but. I don't know how I got off on this Xavier Rudd thing, but anyway. Go to Nicaragua.
Okay.
See Xavier Rudd, not at the Catalyst.
He hangs out in Nicaragua?
Yeah. Well, you ready to get out of here?
All right.
So where can people find you?
Max on the Rocks on Instagram.
Max on the Rocks on Instagram.
2 X's.
I'm on Instagram. I don't really use it. C12 Gene. I want to use it more. I got a nice phone. I should use it more.
I don't know for sure.
I think my problem is I don't have anything interesting to kind of, I need to get outside more. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, camping.
Don't forget to subscribe, you maniacs. Anybody who's watching this. I know there's people watching this. Maybe not a lot, but there are a few.
Hi, Ben.
And hi, Ben, who's in Afghanistan.
He's in the Middle East somewhere.
We got to at least keep doing this for Ben.
Yeah.
We know there's at least one world traveler out there that's watching this. Yeah, C12 Gene, pretty much everywhere on the internet.
Everywhere.
If you're looking for some late night chat sessions, Max on the Rocks, Instagram. Right, let's get out of here.
Peace out.
That was episode 12. I am happy that we had completed this episode.
I think that's 13.
13, episode 13. All right, later, folks.